What is the dumbest thing you've said during sex? I was eating some pussy and the girl started moaning and said my name. I literally stop, lift my head and say what? I was about to come and wanted to say something, but just drooled on her face. The guy I was dating and I were having sex for the first time, and it was insanely good. I meant to tell him I love your cock, but could barely even think straight and accidentally said I love you. I was momentarily horrified. But he immediately said I love you too. We had only been dating a month and definitely were not in love with each other yet. He's my husband now, so I guess it all worked out. One time I saw myself in the mirror and gave myself a cheesy thumbs up, to which I hear her say really. And we both cracked up. I'd have to say mine was oh dude, that feels so good bro to a girl. I was on top missionary style going to town when the smoke alarms all went off throughout the entire apartment complex. Mind you, I was fairly far forward, almost over top this girl. As soon as the alarm started, I reacted up. I smashed my head on the headboard. At the exact same time I came so hard I passed out for a quick second. When I came to, she was laughing her ass off trying to get me off her. Your cat just puked on the carpet. My girlfriend and I were having shower sex and she said oh that's my cum button. She still denies saying that 18 years later. When I lost my virginity, it was with a girl I honestly wasn't sure if I wanted to be with. I hadn't said I love you yet and wasn't really sure I ever would. I was pretty clear about my feelings that I wasn't ready to say it just yet. One day, at a party where we had friends camping out in the garden, she leads me into our tent and says she has a condom and wants to have sex. I ask, are you sure? And she was adamant and I was like sure. Why not? Fair few minutes into awkward first time sex, she asks me, as we are having sex, does this mean you love me now? And I was presented with a dilemma. Be honest, or say what you wanted to hear. Before you judge me, I ask you this, what would you have done? I said well, no. Sorry, and she started to cry. While we were still very awkward talk ensued. Later on, she said I have another condom if you wanna try again? And I go sure. Why not? In all honestly, I'm very happy. My first time was an awkward moment that eventually both of us could laugh at. I remember it fondly. I was with my first girlfriend and we were fooling around on her sofa, kissing and roaming hands, all that malarkey. She then sits me back, straddles me, and removes her top. Oh good heavens. I fucking said oh good heavens. Fuck sake, safe to say I left as a sad blue-balled boy that day. I was a bit older than most people when I lost my virginity, so naturally had a fair bit of baggage about it, and it seemed like a pretty big deal at the time. When the deed was finally done, I said to the woman I was with I was in you, was die. I just wanted to be absolutely certain that I was no longer a virgin. It was during the time I lost my virginity. She was already pretty experienced, and so I was already anxious about that on top of it being my first time, so it took a few fumbles to get the condom on, and the longer it was going on for the softer it was getting. She finally was just like ugh forget it, I have an IUD, just get started, and so I did. I tossed the condom aside and decided to just go at it raw. It took a few more fumbles, but I finally was successful and slid right in, and she immediately started thrusting up into me. When I finally matched her pace and got into it, I just started screaming I feel it. I feel it. And then I shot my load inside her. To this day I have no idea what I was feeling. I fucked her for another 2 months though, so I guess she was feeling something also lol. I'm a girl and I said can I suck your nipples, or is it a man thing lol? I hate this memory. Her, where are you? Meaning how close are you to coming me? Who, inside you? We both had a good laugh, which did unfortunately kill the mood. He was kissing and I'd clicking my ears, and I made a joke about Jack Sparrow stealing that woman's earring by kissing her ear P. Formula 1 Singapore race is starting in 15 minutes. Fuck it, blast off. After finishing in about 30 seconds with the girl I was dating at the time, it was our first time having sex together. Side note, that girl gave the best head I've ever had, never had anything close to it, and probably never will again. She is now dating an NFL player. He's the highest paid player ever at his position. He is elite at his craft and she is elite at hers. Game recognizes game, I guess. During cunnilingus, I called him female name. Yep. Anyway, the first girl I slept with after breaking up with my ex. My ex used to dirty talk a lot, and one thing she sometimes said was oh, I can feel your balls slapping my ass. I'd sometimes ask if she could feel my balls slapping her then if she hadn't already said it. Fast forward to my night with this lovely young woman, and I said totally out of habit, can you feel my balls slapping you? I said the first part loud and the second or quiet. She looked quizzically at me, then reached down and awkwardly tried to find and hold my balls and kept doing so. I was so embarrassed I didn't stop her. Told her some time later and she laughed so much. She told all her friends too, and they laughed a lot. Good times. For some reason, I whispered Kim Jong and then moaned quite loudly, and certain products had been consumed in advance of this happening.